To do number 18, what we should do, or to find all the possible answers, what we need to do is actually draw two different triangles, because there could be two different answers. Because if this is an isosceles triangle, I know these two sides are equal, and then if it's a 70-degree angle, that 70-degree angle could go here, right, where both of these are the same, or it can go up here, and then we would need to find these two. So if we have this case, then I know that top angle is 180 minus 70, so you get 40. So I know 40 is one possible answer, right? And then if it's this one over here, to find the angle that's missing here, what we would do is take 180 minus 70, right, and that's 110, and then you divide that by 2, because again these two angles are the same measure, and you get 55. So 55 would be another possible angle measure. Now again, this one on the test is going to be multiple choice, so just remember that it could be two different cases. If the biggest angle in a isosceles triangle is 70, find another angle measure. Okay. So we have this scenario or this scenario. If we look at 19, because these marks are here, I know this is an isosceles triangle, and then I know right away this bottom one is 37 degrees. Remember, for an isosceles triangle, these two sides are equal, and then these two base angles are also equal. And then if these two are 37, to figure out A, again the three angles in a triangle have to add up to 37, have to add up to 180, I mean. You subtract out the two 37s, and then you get 106. So this one has to be 106. So I know these three added up will add up to 180. If we look at 20, the congruent statement, that's the statement where you say one triangle, right, is congruent to another triangle. So here we have two triangles. There's this triangle up here, and then there's the bottom triangle, and they are congruent. Okay, you could say these are congruent by angle side angle. But let's say we named this triangle ABC. Okay, kind of kept it in order. Now what you should notice is when we go from A to B, we go across the side that had one mark on it, and then when we go across from B to C, we go across the side of the triangle that has two marks. So we have to go in that order over here. So this has one mark, so it's going to go CD, and then over here has two marks, so then it would go DA, DA. And that's the congruent statement. Okay? Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. And then if you look at 21, it says given side BC is congruent to side DC. So I always like to mark up the triangle, or mark up the information that's given. And then it says angle DCA. DCA is this angle, right?
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
Siri. And then BCA, well, BCA, if you follow the letters, is this angle. So I know those two angles are congruent. And it says, what additional information is needed to prove the triangles are congruent? Well, it kind of depends on how we're going to prove the triangles congruent. Let's say we wanted to prove the triangles congruent by angle side angle. If that's the case, then I need this top angle to be congruent to this bottom angle. So So this is what also we would need. Angle B congruent to angle D. Right, because then it would be angle, side, angle. And that's one possibility. Another possibility, imagine we didn't have this, and we only had side angle. Another way we could have said the two triangles are congruent is by side angle side. And then if that was the case, we would need the CA congruent to CA. Side CA congruent to side CA. Again, this one's going to be multiple choice on the test, so just make sure whatever congruence property we use, that it matches up with what's needed. Okay. Let's move on to 22. So again, 22 is similar to 21. Which postulate of the theorem can be used to prove these two triangles congruent? Remember, whenever you see vertical angles, go ahead and just mark that in. Here's vertical angles. This angle is vertical to this angle. And then you can say, oh yes, I know these angles are congruent by angle side angle because I have this angle congruent to this angle. I have this side mark, tells me it's congruent to that side mark. Then you have that angle congruent to that angle. So that's angle side angle on both sides, right?